Hello. All right, it's late here. It's 11 past 11. So the gym closes in like 40 minutes. So we'll do like a quick 40-minute workout. And yeah, it's nice. That late sun. I'm living like a vampire. All right, so we gotta hit the gym. And yeah, let's get out of here. Skedaddle. I need my little key card. Where's that? Don't tell me I think it's on the table. So hello everyone. Oh, here it is. Here's my little key card. Cool. Put it in my bag. Take the backpack. Sorry, I know it's a little dark. We get started with a warm-up. Stairs of doom. It's cold out today. Yeah, the weather here hasn't been very good. So I think the last few weeks we were lucky, and now I'm seeing the true weather. Not very good. It's almost June. Christ. It's almost June. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I've never done a workout stream before, so why not try it out? Everyone should work out. There's no excuse not to, really, unless you're disabled in some way. Everyone should work out. Gyms are quite cheap too, if you think about it. Gyms here are pretty cheap. I think this one's like 30 or 40 bucks. That's like a few beers at a bar. This gets you a month in a place. It's a pretty good deal, honestly. If you think about it, gyms are a very good deal. Because they know it can be cheap because they know a lot of people won't go. They sign up and then they get lazy and then they'll go for a few months. Free money for the gym. This gym closes at midnight. This is what I love about European gyms. It's real antisocial, so you don't interact with anybody. So you can just open this. And you're in. I've never interacted with anybody here. says no outside shoes, which is a rule in Europe. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna connect to the Wi-Fi here, so I have a good connection. Let's see, Bella Box Cloud. So I gotta look for a, let's see, which one is it? Telia. This is some, this tells me, by the way, this tells me all the bit rate. This is how you live stream. So there's the bit rate. This is telling me the feed is operational. Actually even says the temperature of what's going on. Now let me look up the Wi-Fi here real quick. Okay, so it's Evo scan. Let's see. Okay, there's Evo. That one's the one we want. I guess that worked. Okay. There's a lot of people here. Shit. There's a lot of people here. What the fuck? Oh god.
Maybe this one, huh?
I'm looking for zero. One? Oh, yeah.
Let me get to the chat real quick. Dude, why the fuck's there so many people?
Like,
Fucking hell, man. Like 20 people there. Let's do it over here. All right. Of course, the one time I try to stream, there's like 10 people in there at like 11:30. What the fuck? What are the odds, you know? Just my luck. Oops. Got away from my... All right, we should be back. Dude, I can't believe the one time I fucking tried to live stream, there's like 10 people back there. Usually there's no one. There's no one now, there's 10. Why? Such bullshit. Life of a live streamer. All right, let's see. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Do some pull-ups. Pull-ups are great. You can do them anywhere usually. All right, we'll try and test out some of the positions. I just don't want anyone seeing it, you know? It's like a camera. Fucking hell. Of course it's fucking crowded back there. Can't believe that shit. So how's everyone doing? Yeah, I can't believe it's almost June. Big holiday coming up, right? Well, it just was May. What's up, Tapcat, Lutra, J. Kim, Steve-O, Minty, and Jill. What's going on in the world? Russia? Ukraine? I'll put it there. I love those. I love the front raises because, like, there's this video of, I think it's like a Marine Corps boot camp, and they make them hold up a piece of paper, There's a video of it online. They hold up this piece of paper like this with both arms. I gotta hold it for I don't know how long, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Looks brutal though. So whenever I'm doing the front holds, I think of those guys. Holding that piece of paper. Now, I don't have anyone like yelling at me, but I have been to boot camp. We didn't have to do that. We had to do push-ups in a sand pit. But it was nothing that bad. So it's like we're holding up the paper. See how long we could do it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so those are called front raises and side raises, and they hit the shoulder. I like doing them a lot. I have big shoulders, and I want to get them really big. Massive. Work out what you have. If something's big, make it bigger. You got a big ass, try and make it bigger. Who cares? Focus what you have. All right. Hello, Maryland. Yeah, we got to work on the summer bodies. This is Norway. Yeah. All gyms look the same. That's all. Hello, Lutra. Hello, Stein. Most people here join gym in January to get rid of the Christmas excess. Well, if you don't eat bad, you don't need to do that. Yeah, dude, the gym's fucking... Why is it crowded now? Oh, my God.
This is the most estimated.
Let's try and go the other area.
No, the other side, the other side. Yep, lay down. Let me see. Okay, go down.
Like this?
Get back.
Like
Out.
this?
You have to regulate it a bit. Keep going. Come on. Now it's good. Now.
I didn't see this, and I've never done this before.
Hands on your chest. Hands on your chest. Go down, up, all the way down, 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 down.
People speaking English. Yeah, there's a ton of immigrants in Oslo. It's kind of sad. Let's see. Nice, there's no one over here. Just trying to get away from people, you know. All right, this is going to be a good area. Yeah, there's a ton of immigrants here. That's why I kind of feel bad for being here. There's like so many immigrants and English speakers. Like, I feel bad for the people because they're losing their city, you know. They're kind of losing it. By like 2050, it'll be over here probably. If you want the real Norwegian experience, you might have to go to like a small 100K pop town in the middle of the mountains or something, like Trondheim. I do want to go to Bergen, which is the second biggest city. But it's like 7 hours away, you know, it's kind of far. I was trying to get the Swedish guy with the car to go with him. He's broke though. He has no money and he's looking for a job here. So he wanted to go, but now he said like he has no money. He's tapped. He's tapped on money. All right, what do we do here? All right, we're gonna get a bar. Where's a bar? Fuck, he's using it. Dude, the worst day. Someone using my bar. What a disaster. This is why, like, dude, if you have money, just get a home gym. Like, if you have like space and money, like, get a home gym. Sometimes the gym is like, I was already saying it's a good deal, 30, 40 bucks, but like, if you got big space in your house, the best thing honestly is like, you have outdoor space where you can make a gym, and then you can get sun at the same time on a nice day. And you can kind of just work out and drift in and out, outside. That's the best. This is not the best. All right, we're gonna do this one is. All right, these are, let's do some chest. All right, so after this, we're gonna go back to the computer. We only got 10 minutes left here, by the way. Kind of started late, so not really much. You know what, I'm gonna try tomorrow. There's no way it's crowded tomorrow. I've been here every night late, never fucking people. There's usually one person. So tomorrow we're gonna try again. And yeah, so after this, we'll go on the computer. I'm going to show you guys some of the Istanbul content. We'll do an Istanbul city review. Then I think we'll do an Edinburgh city review, so we'll talk about that for the blog. And yeah, it should be good. So we only got 10 more minutes left here, so do some other stuff. Let's do some push-ups right here. If you want a really good workout guide, Google Anabolic Aliens 5-minute chest workout, and that one's pretty good. Like if you have no anything, everyone has a floor, you just do that. 5-minute chest workout, Anabolic Aliens. It's pretty good. Anyone can do it. You just need a floor. Who doesn't have a floor? Yeah, big summer. Big summer 2025. Best summer ever, I think. Best summer ever. Long Island misses you? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Hello, Mika. All right, we'll leave in like 2 minutes. All right, one more set, then we'll leave. More. All right, let's get out of here. All right. Well, that was like a half workout, honestly. That wasn't very good. This is just a test run. And we're out. All right, now I can talk louder because we're not in a private space. Why the fuck were there so many people at the gym on a Sunday night? Never anybody there. One time I tried to stream it, there's like 10 people. Now, I guess I could have streamed it, but I don't know. I'm still new to this, you know? Still trying to be cognizant of other people. Maybe they don't want to be in a YouTube live stream. That whole thing, you know? I don't want people to get angry at me. Well, they probably wouldn't know it's a live stream. They probably think it's a video. So yeah, the sky's still bright. It's almost midnight. We've been in Oslo for about a month. I wish I could leave, honestly. I mean, it's not bad here, but I might go back to Copenhagen, try out Copenhagen for a month. So I feel like I've seen what I've needed to see here. You guys ever get that vibe? You have seen what you needed to see, and you can depart safely. We'll read the comments in a sec. Let me just get back in the apartment. So much for the unhinged gym stream. And we'll talk about some stuff. Unreal. Oh, and the weather hasn't been that great here. I got lucky here for the first few weeks. Now it's not the best. So I think I prefer Sweden and Finland to Oslo or Norway. That's my vibe so far. I think Finland's better, Sweden's better. All right, we're back. There we go. All right, let me set up my computer stream. Set up the old computer stream. And I'll put on a shirt. All right, let's see. All right. There we go. Hello. All right. There we go. So I have a question for you guys. I have like this flux thing on, which helps with like, you guys use flux? You know what that is? It's like, it kind of changes the lighting on the screen. Does my screen look really yellow or does it look normal? Let me know if I need to change, turn off the flux. Okay. I think everything should be good. Got 44 people, damn. So let me know if you guys think I should attempt to do another gym stream. That one kind of sucked. I gotta hide the camera too better, I think. Maybe not have the screen on. Or maybe I shouldn't care. I don't know. Just not give a fuck. Hey, Tom. How many people you share the house with? No, I live by myself. Nice apartment. Thank you. Only $12.50, by the way. $12.50 USD. Not bad. What does the gym membership cost? I think it was like $40. It's not the best gym, but it's good enough. It's close by. I miss your New York vlogs. I think everyone does. There's just better content. But that place sucks for living. No gym. So Max Pez does not like the gym. Legion Lenovo laptop is expensive, the one you use. Yeah, but it's like, what do you guys like spending money on? Like, the laptop is an important part, I think, of everyone's life, the computer. Like, what else are you spending money on? So my thing is, like, if I'm going to spend money on something, why not, like, the laptop's important to me. I use it a lot. The phone, use it a lot. So spend money on the phone. What's like some dumb shit, like a restaurant? You eat the food in 2 seconds, it's gone. That's not good value to me. The computer's good value. Would you like more of Finland and Sweden than Norway? I think the vibe of it. Again, I haven't like. Oops, the fuck did I do there? I haven't really seen much in Norway. Like I've only been in Oslo, and Oslo is like it's like its own thing, you know? Like Oslo is probably completely different from the rest of the country. Oslo is like its own little thing, if that makes sense. So I really can't compare it totally, but I don't know, just the vibe, I would say. There's like so many immigrants here though, kind of. Like that's why Finland, I think, is like the best Nordic country, because there's the least amount of immigrants. And to me, it feels the most exotic because, I don't know, it feels like you're entering like, you know, an actual different people's society. Now Helsinki's becoming multicultural too, and they're actually changing the laws, I think. They're making it like real strict. Like if you don't find a job in 3 months or something, they kick you out. So they're making it strict. And all these Finland pages I follow, like Finland expats I follow on Facebook, they're all like, you know, sad because, oh, I'm gonna get kicked out. But yeah, Finland's the best because there's the least amount of foreigners. I like going to places with less foreigners. It feels more authentic. Oslo's got a ton of foreigners, which makes me feel bad about being a foreigner. It's like, oh, it's just another one. That's my rant. Spend money on woman. Spend money on woman. I'll buy a woman beer. Buy her a beer. I'll buy her an Uber ride. You can do that. Get her an Uber ride. What is on the background? Steam is weak. And there's something in the background. What do you think about the place you are now? It's okay. It's not like the worst place in the world. Buy silver and gold bars. Is that chair there? Yeah. I probably would have been stabbed if I kept streaming in New York, so it's actually better I'm out there. I'd probably be dead. I probably would have not been here anymore if we kept streaming in New York, so it's good we left. And there's other people streaming, so you can just watch them. The stream is weak, is it? I don't think it's... Is it weak? There's this guy trolling me. Buy her a cheeseburger. Yeah, buy her a cheeseburger. Oh, we're doing that right now. All right, let's do, okay. Let's do Istanbul. Videos. Let's show you guys an Istanbul video. Why do you have to move to other places? It's just the lifestyle, man. I'm a digital nomad. I've lived in probably like 50 apartments, maybe more in the last couple of years. Yeah, apartments, hotels, maybe like 100. Yeah, I got chased. Getting chased doesn't feel good, you know? It's not like, oh, let's keep doing this. It's like, this place is a shithole, let's get out of here. Like, that's what goes through your head when you get chased somewhere. Let's see. Where was the Istanbul video? I'll show you guys. I think I took a few of them. I took a bunch of videos. This is on a boat ride in Istanbul. You can see the Galata Tower right there. Then there's some smoke from the boats. I think the boats are heavily polluting the city or something. But yeah, I took a boat in Istanbul. Here's a cat. We have met a friend. We've made a friend. Hello. Yeah, this cat was nice. This was a nice cat, sat right next to me. Cats of Istanbul, hanging out with me. Hey, buddy. He's coming up. You want to come up? What a legend. Oh, he came on me. Hi. What an absolute legend. So this was the good experience with the cat. We got a nice selfie in there. Found a cat. So yeah, what a legend. Now, we'll show you the not so good interaction. Right here. Let me make sure my this isn't blocking much. Make this smaller. This is the bad interaction right here. Oh, you're fluffy. Ooh. You're very fluffy. Yeah, the fucker piece of shit cat got me. So I like the cats, and then it happened. I'm like, fuck, it got me. When it meowed, I should have known. Should have known. You can kind of see it. It's like mostly faded, but that was like months ago. You can see it a little. It's mostly faded. And when that happened, I said, get me out of this country. I said, all right, I'm done with Istanbul. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Luckily, my Airbnb was ending in like 3 days. But that moment, I knew I was done. That moment, I knew we are done with Istanbul, because now I didn't like the cats anymore, because that was mean. I was just petting it. I should have stopped petting it, because it kind of gave a weird meow. But my first interaction with the other cat, I was like, oh, the cats are nice. You know, they're socialized. And then one of my couch surfing hosts in Liverpool, he said he was in Istanbul for a hair transplant. And he was feeding one, and it accidentally like bit him because it was like hungry, I guess. He was feeding it some kebab. It bit him. And the bite is worse than a scratch. Bite is like, you know, there might be infection with the bite. Scratch is like, there's barely any chance. I think a ton of people are getting scratched by these cats probably. So that wasn't fun. So I got more, I got a lot of content I can put up, honestly. Like most of it's from the live stream, but I think my plan is just find some young kids, just a pack of young kids,
living with their parents and just be like, hey man, here's all this content. If you make a video out of it that's decent, I'll throw you like $10. You know, you find some shorts clips, I'll throw you a couple bucks. Because the normal editors, they want like $100 for the edit. And it's like, dude, like I'm making like, you know, in the video, I'd probably make like $5 or $7 off the ad revenue. So like paying someone $100 and then getting like $5 back doesn't feel good. That's how quickly you're like $1,000 in the negative. So that's why I got to find some kids to just sort through all this content because I'm too lazy to do it. It's just too much, and I've already walked these places. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to hear my voice. There's something about hearing your own voice and seeing yourself on the video which weirds a lot of people out, and it weirds me. You know, like I don't like it. Is there anything else? Okay. I ate this thing like every day. This was like $5, I think. This was like the best deal. It's like beans, rice, and some meat. And this place was actually in like Mark Waynes's, where's Mark? You guys know who Mark Waynes is? He's like a big food reviewer type guy. I think that place was in his video, and that's how I saw it. So if we go Istanbul, it's in one of these. I don't know which one. Istanbul beans and rice. Maybe this will pop up. I can't really watch this much. It's going to hit me with a copyright strike. But this is where I found that place, and it was actually pretty good. And it used to be better because what happened in Istanbul is the currency's a disaster. It's all messed up. So it used to be like 50% cheaper. Like that dish used to be like $2 or $3. And then the currency's all messed up, and you got to wait for the inflation to like kind of take hold globally. So when I was in Istanbul, it wasn't a good time. It wasn't even cheap. It was like middle. It wasn't like Norway pricing, but it was like middle of the road pricing. Let's see if we can find it. Mark Waynes. This guy's got 11 million subs. Wow. He must be raking in that money, baby. Let's see. I don't see it. I don't know. Rice and beans. Katakoy. That's where I lived. Yeah, it's showing me Norwegian places. Okay. Let me read the comments, see what you guys said about that. Hello, Linda. Who were the foreigners? Europeans? No, they're from everywhere basically. But there are foreigners who are also European, mostly from like Southern Europe, because the economy here is better. You can make more money. No one knows the shit. Yeah, it's true, Joe. It's true. You don't know if cats living in the woods. I still got to file a police report for my food stamps fraud. All right, let's do a city review. Let's write this. So, join me on a city review. I gotta write all of these. So let's get the template. I think this was the template we have. Hits all the factors. Let's do Istanbul. Oh, I think we added airport, and then I think geographic location is interesting. That kind of plays into the airport, I guess. Okay. We're going to do Istanbul. And we're going to turn on our... Where is it? You can okay, tools. Voice typing. George Soros. What's George Soros doing to you, buddy? Okay. What should we say about Istanbul? This, I originally planned to stay in Istanbul for a 1 month long stay from February 20th to around March 20th. It may be longer if I liked it, but in the end, I only stayed for 10 days from the 20th to March 1st. My plan there was mainly just to chill, eat some good food, hit the gym cell, that whole thing. But there were a few factors I didn't like, and ultimately I decided to not do a month and cut my stay short for various reasons. So really the reasons were that, like, when I first got there, first of all, it was cold. It was snowing hard the first few days I was there, like big flakes, big snow. And I knew the weather forecast wasn't great. I checked the weather, but I imagined, Istanbul is a warm place. Like if you look out on a map, it's pretty far south. It's close to like Athens. It's pretty close to Athens. So I figured even in the winter, it would still be like pretty decent. But no, it was pretty cold. Honestly, the coldest place I went to on this whole trip, because before that I was in Portugal and Spain, and those were pretty nice. Istanbul was cold and snowing and wet. Really not good for walking around. So that was a big L. And the overall vibe of the place, I stayed in Katakoy. I'll show you guys Katakoy on the map. Katakoy is on the Asian side. So here's... By the way, does the stream look like... I asked this before. Does it look gold to you, or does it look white? Because I have this on. Or does it look normal? Just let me know, please. Add beaches and mountains. It's interesting. I live within 25 miles from Soros. I disagree with Erdogan's policies. I don't really care about the policies, honestly. I just want to eat some good food for cheap and hit the gym. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about the policies. They're Muslim. Who cares? They're doing whatever they want to do. Screen looks normal to me. Thank you, Linda. That's all I need to hear. Okay. So there's the Asian side, which is over here. You see? You're in Asia if you're over here. This is Asia. Connects to Asia, all these countries, Middle East, whatever. This side is the European side. It's separated by this river. I forget what the river's called. What is this river called? I don't know. It's an important river, though. So this is Europe, Asia. I stayed in Asia, Katakoy. It's this thing right here. It's Katakoy. It was a pretty interesting area. There's a lot going on, a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants. It's like kind of like an endless feeling almost. Kind of that typical like like a non-European feel. There's just like tons of places to choose from. Endless almost. Just a lot of people too. And it was a bit more chill. That's why people go there. Like the European side is very touristy. That's where the scams are. That's where all that bullshit is. So I was over here. But most people say the European side is better if you're a tourist because you're close to everything. So there's Galata Tower, which is this tower. It's old. It's cool looking. Then there's a street over here. I think it's this one. There's like a big walking street where there's like a ton of vendors. I think that's Taksim. I forget. Then over here, there's a bunch of mosques and things to do. So let's go back. So that's Istanbul. It's huge. There's like 10 million people. If there's ever an earthquake there, they are screwed. So many people are going to die. That's why I didn't like about it either. I'm like, dude, if there's an earthquake, is this house going to fall on me? I'm just done. Is that the end of Peter Wins? I just get crushed in an Istanbul shitty housing because of an earthquake? All right, let's go back to writing. Okay, what was I ranting about? Okay. So there's the city's divided into two sides. European side and Asian side. The European side is most of the tourism. I'd say about 90% of the tourism stuff is on the European side. And there's a few stuff on the Asian side, but the Asian side is mostly just normal Turkish people living their life. A few tourists go to Kadıköy area, which is where I stayed. And they do the whole boat ride across the river, but mostly they stay on the European side. All right, let's talk about people and demographics. Turkish people, their look is pretty interesting and like kind of hard to really, I guess, put into words what they look like. So Turkish people are derived from the Anatolia Turks. They took Constantinople in the 1400s, turned into Istanbul. It was a major victory. No, they're called the Seljuk Turks. And yeah, they're just like a big mix of people. Like, they got some European in them, maybe. They got the Turk. Maybe they have some Middle Eastern in them. Some Greek. They're really just like a mixed race people in a way. But not like super mixed, you know? Like, they all like kind of... Like, some are a little like whiter than the others. Some a little darker. So I wouldn't say like... There's a massive difference, but there is kind of like... You'll see a lot where it's like, that guy looked kind of white. But there are a lot of Kurds coming into the city, and I think Istanbul has a ton of refugees from the Middle East, so that might skew what I thought as well. You know, I might see a dude from Iraq and think, oh, that's a Turk because he's walking around Istanbul. So it's really hard to say what they look like. The people seem, to me, were pretty nice. Again, it's a huge city. There's a ton of people. In big cities with a lot of people, people aren't necessarily going to be friendly. But while walking around, no one really looked at me. You know, I didn't feel like a foreigner being targeted out. No one cared. This was in Kadıköy, by the way. I walked around mostly in Kadıköy. Even in the European side, no one bothered me. Maybe because I just don't have that look where they're going to extract money from me. They're mostly going after probably like the boomer tourist or like the woman tourist or something like that. Me, no one bothered me. No, oh, my friend, come to this place, you know, where I will charge you $30 for some kebab that should cost $5. That never happened. Okay, areas of interest. I think we already touched on this a little bit. So yeah, European side, there's the mosques, the Sophia, whatever the thing is, I got to look it up. The Blue Mosque, which I went kind of on the outside of it in one video. The Galata Tower, the Walking Street, the Grand Bazaar, I walked through it. Just a bunch of guys selling some fake stuff or whatever. There's like I think there's like an Egyptian bazaar. I didn't go through that one. I walked near university. It's one of those things where like there's a lot if you really look into it. But I think the mosques, the tower, the bazaar, and that street is like the main thing that people do. Yeah. Price. Hold on. Let's see what do you guys have to say. What do you have to say, buddies? Yeah, this guy's got nothing. He's on his last dime. I have a book about it, Minty. That's how they treat me in New York City. I'm back to work. Delivery app for tonight. Take care. Peace all. I read somewhere that China is the only country never been invaded by a foreign country. I want to go on a boat ride. Where the woman at? I mean, there's woman on a Saturday night here. Okay. Hello, Joanne. Istanbul, pre-COVID was a cheap place to go. Inexpensive. Airbnb probably like $500 in a decent area. Meals $3-4. It was a cheap place, and that's why it was on the digital nomads radar. It was as cheap as, the Balkans, Albania. And as you know, us digital nomads and us maybe frugal travelers, the price is a big factor in where to go. Unfortunately, in 2025, the price isn't that great for Istanbul. It's kind of in the mid-tier in pricing. It's not like, like a Denmark or Norway or London. It's not that bad, but it's not good either. Like Albania, way cheaper. Serbia, way cheaper. Thailand, way cheaper. It's kind of, I would say, as expensive as like maybe like a cheaper part of Germany or something. Germany's not that expensive. So an Airbnb is probably going to cost you $1,000 for a month. Food in the restaurant, depends where you're at. In the touristy parts, it's probably going to be like up to $15 maybe. In the non-touristy parts, maybe like $8 to $10. So not that great. The grocery store pricing wasn't really great either. Again, it's all the inflation. The inflation is killing it. The currency is just garbage, and they just keep, I guess, printing more and more and more and more. And you could see, the pricing in Google reviews, they take the picture in the Google reviews of the place. You could see that the price had doubled in 3 months or something. It was just and all the people in the space, the travelers, digital nomads, the YouTubers, are all saying the same thing. This kind of sucks. Sucks for everybody, All right. Weather. We can let ChatGPT generate the weather for each month because we got to be a little lazy with that. But yeah, I was there in February and it was cold. It was snowing a lot. So that has determined to me this is not a summer. No, it is not a winter destination. It's not it. It doesn't work. It gets cold here. It snows. You got to wear big coats and big hats. So maybe I would have had a better time if I went in like April, you know. But you can say that about most places. But that means it's also competing with lots of European places that get good during April, which is most of Europe starts getting decent in April. So weather not great, price not great. So it's not looking good for Istanbul. Tourism kind of overlaps with areas of interest, I guess, on what I was saying. You know, you got the mosques, the Grand Bazaar, the Galata Tower, you take the boat ride. I'm not a big tourism guy, so you know what? We're going to be lazy and let ChatGPT give us some help with that. And yes, I know using ChatGPT for that is bad, but I think it's it's either that or Googling it or browsing Reddit about it. It's all the same. Nightlife. I didn't really do nightlife. So I did not do nightlife when I was there. It was cold out and the English isn't great. And I was alone, and I just felt like, you know, I felt like it'd be hard to meet people. I was in Katakoi. There's like a ton of bars there. I don't know which bar to go to, if there's even a meet people bar. In a lot of these countries, they don't have meet people places. It's literally like a bunch of people sit at their table with their friends all night, and that's it. That's what everyone does. That's how they do it in the Balkans. Now, I think on the European side, there are some nightclubs. I mean, it's a city of like 15 million people, and even though they're Muslim, I don't think they really care about the alcohol and the nightlife. They turn a blind eye to that. They're like chill Muslims over there. So I didn't really do the nightlife, but from what I've read, I think if you know where to go and all that, it can be okay. But also, there's a lot of scams I've read during the nightlife. First of all, you're walking around at night, you're a foreigner, a guy comes up to you and says, hey, you know, he's acting real friendly, seems like a normal guy, and he says, oh, I know a good club to go. You go to the club. You know, the club will bring you like a bottle and all this shit, and then some big guys will stand next to you, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's like $500 for that. And you're like, I didn't want that. Or like some girl will start talking to you, ask them to buy a drink, and the drink's like $50 per drink. So there's a lot of scams when it comes to that. So I didn't want to deal with that. And I swear, I go out to nightlife to meet girls, to meet people, you know. I'll make friends with dudes too, but, you know, mostly try to talk to girls. I swear the gender ratio in Turkey is like, for every one girl I saw walking around the street, there's like 4 dudes. Like, there would just be cafes full of dudes drinking tea. They drink these little tea things. The gender ratio is messed up there. I don't know, maybe all the girls, they're Muslims, they're sitting at home, and I don't know, maybe they got kids or something already, you know. Maybe they had a kid when they were 18. They just don't go out. They wear the burqa. I don't know. There were not many girls in Istanbul. And Turks are famous for going to other countries to get women. They would go to Ukraine. Look where Ukraine is. Look how fucking close. Look how close Kiev is. Whoop. Or Odessa. Was it like an hour flight? That's like a $20 Ryanair flight. Look at that. That's where they're going. So if you have that in mind, Again, I didn't care about that here, though. I just wanted to eat good food and hit the gym. I didn't care about this because I knew it wouldn't be good anyways. That wasn't a factor for me. But I'm just trying to be totally give a good city review for anyone else. The city's huge. City's massive. I think it's laid out like the best it can be. You know, it's an old city from like 1,000 years old. The layout of the city isn't great. There's a lot of hills you have to walk up. Old buildings. There's no real like city square anywhere. Yeah, it's just a lot of city. A lot of just dense city. If you don't have Google Maps, it'd be pretty hard to walk around, honestly. So city layout, I think, wasn't great. Again, it's just a big city. I don't know what to say about it. The public transport is pretty good, honestly. There was the metro, which I took. On the European side, there's a tram that seemed pretty modern. Both the metro and the tram are very modern, actually. You got to buy an Istanbul card to use, which is a little annoying to get how to use that, because in these other places, you just do tap to pay. Boom, tap to pay, you're in. Here, you had to figure out the card, and it wasn't like super easy to do, which is a bit of a gripe for me. There was also the ferries. Ferries were a few bucks over. They're kind of fun to do. That's how people get from the European side to the Asian side. And I think people just commuting use it too. They're pretty cheap. So overall, public transport is good. There are also buses going to the airport. I managed to take a bus to the airport and back. Now the taxis in Istanbul are very bad. I think they will rip off anybody. I remember I met some guy on the bus in Spain, and he was like a Turkish American. He said when his dad was Turkish, he went to Turkey. They even ripped him off. You know, they're ripping off their own people. So if they're going to rip off their own people, they're definitely going to rip off a foreigner even harder. So the best thing to do is do not use the taxi. You can't even use Uber, I think. So they have ways around to getting around the Uber where they just ask for more, like triple the price of what it should be. And then there's always traffic too. There's always traffic. Again, massive city, what can you do? So don't take the taxi unless, I guess, you absolutely have to. Food. Again, we touched on the price before. The price of the food wasn't amazing. People rant about the food a lot here. I went to a couple places, and the food is decent. I went to like some fish place. It has some nice fish soup. Every place serves bread. Every place will give you a basket of bread, of white bread. They love bread there. There's kebab shops everywhere. There's all types of food everywhere. Just tons of food shops. Tons. Tons of guys with carts cooking random stuff. I went to this place. They serve like these it was like these mussel things you had to crack open. That was pretty cool. So the food scene is good. Turkish food is pretty good. And it used to be like a superstar place when the price was lower. Now the price is medium. So it's like an okay place. You always got to factor in the price, you know. And then I didn't like the grocery store. I went to like this one grocery store. It was like a hypermarket, and I wasn't loving the grocery store. Something about it. I bought some cheese from the grocery store. It tasted weird. I was like, can these people not do cheese? Dating. Again, I didn't really try here. I was only here for 10 days. Too big of a city, man. I don't even know how you would even date in this city. There's so many people. I went on Tinder for 2 seconds. I think I matched with like a girl from Iran or something. Girl from Iran. She was in the European side, so it's like, okay, you live. It's going to take forever to get to you. That's the problem with these big cities. If they don't live like 10 minutes from you, it's probably not going to happen. It's going to take like an hour to get to them, and you have to walk up a couple steep hills to meet this person from Iran who probably doesn't speak English well. Also, on the Tinder, there seemed to be like there weren't many people on the Tinder, by the way. It's like there were some, but again, I didn't swipe that much. I didn't really care. There were a lot of like prostitutes on there. I don't know why, but maybe it's like another scam they're trying to work in with people. There's some sketchy stuff I saw. It's like, yeah, that girl's definitely not Turkish doing that. So it felt kind of seedy. Oh, and again, probably for every girl using Tinder in Istanbul, there's 100 guys using it. 1,000 guys using it. 1,000 to 1. You don't have a chance. At least here in Norway, like, both genders are kind of using it. Like, maybe it's like 3 to 1. Like, there's triple the amount of guys to girls. There's always going to be more girls. More guys on the Tinder. But 3 to 1 odds aren't bad. Better than what we have in Istanbul. Safety. So I'm a tall man. I'm not particularly big. I'm thin, but... Oh, why isn't it going? So for myself, as a white, tall man, not particularly big, I would say Istanbul's pretty safe. No one bothered me. I think if you're a woman and you're somewhat attractive and you're alone and you don't look Turkish, there's going to be dudes coming up to you, maybe trying for you to buy something, maybe to get your number, to go on a date or something. They're gaming over there. You know, it's part of their culture to talk to people on the street. It's not like Europe where it's against the culture to talk to people in public, which honestly I kind of like. I don't want to be bothered. But overall, I think it's a safe place. You don't have to worry about it. It's a Muslim country. They have strict laws and stuff. Digital nomad factor. So I came here initially as a digital nomad, and I really didn't see it. I think there's better options. Again, the price, the weather, not great. Those are the two biggest things you think of when it comes to digital nomadism. And yeah, just the vibe of the city. I guess the internet was okay. My internet was fine, but in some places it might not be great. Oh, and Discord is banned there. Twitch, I think, is banned there. So the Turkish government is very like, what's the word? They're very, they respond quick. When something bad happens on a platform, their strategy is just to ban the platform. So Discord was banned because I think some lady was hurt or something bad happened, and these Turkish teenagers or something were posting the video of it, and the government found out, and they just banned Discord. Not forever. And I think something similar happened on Twitch, where some people were posting some stuff the government doesn't like. Boom, banned. Ban it for like 6 months. So if your job is anything technical like that, it runs the risk of the Turkish government banning it. So that doesn't look good for it. So, okay, the food's good. There's a decent amount to see. It's a big city. It's not a total bad place for digital nomad. It's close to Europe. It's outside the Schengen area. You can hop back into Europe pretty quick, hour or two. Give that like a 2 out of 5. Pollution. I don't think you can drink the tap water. Tap water's suspicious. Don't drink the tap water. And the air quality seemed okay because, again, you're on the water, so the wind's blowing the pollution away. So it helps it out a lot. If this was in a valley, like Krakow in Poland is in a valley, it would be screwed. It'd be like India, just smog and smoke. But it's got that river, it's got the wind, it blows it away. A lot of people smoke. But overall, the pollution seemed reasonably okay. You know, there's some garbage on the street. It wasn't too bad, though. Some dirty cats. Okay, the airport. The airport... Okay, there's two airports. One is the Istanbul airport, and that one is new and huge. It's the biggest airport I've ever been to. Landing and walking through that airport took forever. Massive line for immigration. Tons of travelers. It gets tons of travelers. Istanbul is a huge tourist city because of its location, which we'll talk about next. But the airport is new and nice. I don't think the workers there are super friendly. They probably have to deal with so much shit every day. Airport's not super close to the city. It's like a 30-minute ride in. I took a bus for like $7. The bus was kind of convenient. Took it at night. Took it back as well. So that's nice. Don't take a taxi. You'll get wrecked. You'll have to pay like $100 for the taxi. And then coming back to the airport, you have to go through like a security thing in the front. And then because I was going to the UK, I flew to the UK. You know, you have to go through security, and then I had to go through like 2 other securities. It was just like a ton of security at the gate. It might be some rules for the UK and the US for whatever reason, but that was annoying. I hate airports already, and that was just like, holy shit, this is terrible. And to top it off, on that particular flight, there was some girl there. She started freaking out. She had a mental breakdown. She was sitting in like a random seat, and the people are trying to calm her down. Try to calm her down for like 15 minutes. They get emergency services on the plane. At that point, she's screwed. Like, they're taking her off, and then she tries to double back and say, "Oh, I'm fine now. I want to stay." And luckily, they got her ass off to get the fuck out of here. You messed up. After all that security, she does that and messes up. Unreal. I hate flying so much. So let's look at the geographic location. It's got a very good location, honestly. Europe right there, Middle East right there. It's just like that center point, you know. Now I guess Dubai is kind of like taken over as like a hub. Dubai is right here. You know, the Asia hub. Because that was like, Istanbul had all that, man. Now I guess Dubai and the Middle East are taking some of that. So, let's talk about that. We're almost done. There's a few more I can add into it. Probably talk about other factors, I guess, in here. The cats. Let's add that in, the cats. Hold on, I'm fucking talking a lot. Hopefully this is helpful to you all. Hello, Minty. Hello. Yes, men can be a bit aggressive. I got really scared. This is Bea. Where are you from, Bea? Peter, what are you doing this summer? Well, I'll be here for June. Just working on my online stuff. Hanging out in Oslo. I think for July and August, I think I'm going to go to Denmark. I might go to Aarhus. Aarhus is the second biggest city in Denmark. 350K pop. I'll show you. I'm thinking about going to Aarhus right here. So I've been to Copenhagen. And I don't know. I want to experience Denmark. I was only there for a few days in Copenhagen. So I might do that. It's either Copenhagen or Aarhus if I live in Denmark. Looks nice. Okay. Thank you, Max. Prague can be a bit like that at night too. Oh yeah, Prague is totally burned down. I had a friend that went to... He always liked Prague, and then he went during COVID, and he's like, okay, let me go here during COVID. Airbnb's half the price because no one's going there, and like maybe the people will be nicer. Nah, didn't change a thing. Prague is just permanently burned down by tourism. It's over for Prague. It's a place you go for a few days and you leave. You don't live there. Which place has good nightlife now? I think Oslo actually has good nightlife. That's like one of the best parts about Oslo is like it has pretty good nightlife. Like it's got like good venues, and Saturday like people go pretty hard. So Oslo, good nightlife. Better than Stockholm. Better than Helsinki. You're like Tbilisi. Okay. So Istanbul is between Europe and the Middle East. It is the gateway. The city is on both continents, technically. So, easy to get to Europe from there. Easy to get to the Middle East. Easy to get from North Africa to Russia to a lot of places. So, its location is pretty good. And again, it's pretty far south. Let's talk about the cats. Okay. Istanbul has cats everywhere. Fucking everywhere there are cats. Every corner almost has stray cats. Especially Katakoi, they're everywhere, but also in the center as well. And the cats, luckily the cats are taken care of by the locals. You'll see them make little makeshift houses for the cats. They'll leave out food for the cats. But the cats didn't seem to be doing well, because when I went there, it was like cold and wet. And I felt bad for the cat because they're sleeping outside, and they seemed pretty scared, you know. They saw me, they were a little like, oh. But there were some friendly ones. As you can see in the video, one crawled on me and I pet him. But then another one looked friendly, but it scratched me. So I would not touch the cats. You might get scratched. And the cats are dirty. I don't think dirty enough to give you like a disease, but like, yeah. So like, I like the cats. It gives it like a nice, it adds to the ambience of the place, the environment, but at the same time you feel bad. But it was cute to see like a cat sitting in like a cafe. You know, just like in a restaurant, there's just a cat and no one cares. Meanwhile, in Europe, Scandinavia, no animals, no cats. Would never see a cat out here. Overall rating. Would I go back to Istanbul? I don't think so. But personally, that's on me. It just wasn't my type of place. I kind of felt that like as soon as I got there immediately, I'm like, oof. Not the place for me. Now, having said that, a lot of people do like it. You know, millions of people are going there for tourism. So what do I know? You might like it. Maybe you're a big foodie. Maybe you just love the history of it. That's the thing. It was cold out, so I didn't really want to like walk around and see all the history. The cold the cold deters so much because who wants to be cold and outside? So my advice, do not go in the winter. Even if it's cheaper flight, whatever, do not go. It might snow and it's not worth it. Go when it's warmer out. What else do I want to say? I think not very good for digital nomad. For short-term tourism, it's okay. If I were American flying in from America, I don't think I'd go to Istanbul. There's better places to go that's closer. The only reason I'd go if I was like, yeah, historian, or you have Turkish roots or maybe Islamic roots or something. Or you're in the area, maybe you're like in Athens. You're traveling in Greece and you can kind of just hop on over to Istanbul. Or you have a flight that, like, I don't know, connects there and there's a layover. Actually, but even that wouldn't be good because you have to, like, it takes a long time to get to the airport and in the city, and you wouldn't have that long. You can't give it like a couple hours. You at least would need like 3 days. All right, guys, that's our review. It's a long one. Shit. Now I just plug this into ChatGPT because it doesn't catch everything right, and it take like an hour to set it. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about that review? People who have been there, what do you think? Let's go to ChatGPT. Oh, the catacombs. I didn't see that. Fuck. Ooh. I forgot to add this when it comes to the pricing. I just remembered. The pricing of the tourist stuff is pretty bad. Most tourist things cost between $10, maybe on the high end $20. The cost to go into the mosques or the catacombs was like $45. It might be $50 now because of the inflation. That's a lot of money to do something like that. To see some historical thing. Usually like the big thing, they keep it quite inexpensive, I feel like. But the mosques, no, I think they had dual pricing. If you're a Turkish citizen, it was cheap or maybe even free. But yeah, if you're non-Turk, non-Muslim, it was like $50. And for a supposed cheap country, that's a lot. That is more than like London. Tower of London, I think, was like £30. And even that is like kind of pricey for what it is. So the government is really hitting people hard in that regard. They're really pricing people up on that because they know people are going to see it. They know. Oh, and I forgot to talk about visa. Forgot to talk about that. Visa. As an American, Turkey in the last year or so, not sure the exact date, has changed it to visa-free travel for Americans. So if you're an American, it's easy. You don't have to do anything. You just have a valid passport. You go in, they stamp you in. Easy. It used to be you had to pre-buy a visa, and I think it was, I don't know how much it was, but you had to do that whole extra step, which no one likes. So that is nice. And my theory on that was, since the inflation, the price inflation, less and less maybe Americans were going on holiday in Istanbul. Maybe the government tracks that metric and they thought like, okay, let's just like do away with the visa so they get in. Kind of worked for me, honestly. Boom. Now, we're actually done. Turkey blows. Well, Tom, LGBTQ, I think is in Istanbul, but like there's underground clubs and shit. Like I think it's tolerated because there's so many people. There's gonna be a few gay people. There's like 20 million people. There's gonna be a few gay people, and I think they have their space. But it's not. You can't do it out in the open. You can't walk around holding hands with a dude. You might get attacked. Just keep it in the club, I think, is their how they do it. But yeah, usually a Muslim country is not a good LGBTQ destination. There's a film called Midnight Express. Put me off. Turkey is too exotic. You know what? It wasn't like that exotic. I don't know. It just felt kind of like second worldy. I need to put this in the review. Fuck. English level. This is important, actually. And when I reviewed London, this obviously wasn't important because it wasn't a factor. The English level in Istanbul is not that great. Older people won't speak English. I would say a decent chunk of the people, maybe under like 25, the younger people, they might speak English, from social media, just learning or playing video games. But overall, be ready to whip out the translator app there. And I tried to learn a little bit of Turkish, but I didn't learn anything, actually. I couldn't say, like, hello and thank you. It was hard. Thank you is like Turum cum. I don't know. Like, I was like, okay. Now, Spanish to English, Spain, English, not too good. But Spanish is like an easy language. Turkish, didn't know a word. So English, I would give like a 2 or a 2.5 out of 5. Really not that great. It's not a 1. The tour guides or whatever, they're going to speak it. People in the tourist areas will speak it. But not that great. Keep remembering stuff. Oh. Stop you. Is there anything else, boys and girls? Is there anything else we'd like to add? French, I think it's not easy. French people can speak English. It's not a big problem there. They don't want to, though. You just got to force it out of them. Oh, I forgot his. Istanbul is a tier 0 city, meaning it's a metropolis. There's endless people. It's got like a 20 million person population. It's ridiculous. Good. I'm keeping thinking of things to add in. I guess that's a good thing. Quality of life. Istanbul overall feels like a second world country. It just doesn't have that vibe a first world country would have. But at the same time, it's definitely not a third world country. We can all agree on that. I think it's firmly in the second world. And I keep thinking of more. Cash. Some places only take cash. Card worked in most places, but you definitely need to carry some cash just in case. All right, I think that we're actually done. Cool. I like how it saves instantly to the drive. There's Istanbul. We'll run it through ChatGPT later. Make it seem kind of in my style of writing. Okay, guys. We're going to do one more. Actually, I want to take a break real quick. Yeah, they try. Well, at the restaurants I went to, I mean, it was just the price. The price is the price. If you go to the bazaar or the whatever that big walking street is, Taksim, I think that's where they do all that stuff. I wasn't gonna buy anything at the bazaar. You can buy anything you want off AliExpress or Amazon or whatever. It's all on the internet now. It doesn't matter. Hello, KT says, good job. Yeah, I mean, again, here's one of my philosophies about travel. You need to go there yourself. I've had places where people tell me it's good, I loved it, and you go, and I was like, dude, this ain't it. I'm not feeling this place. Opposite can happen. You can like a place, say, hey, go there. And the people say, dude, this place is awful. So different cities for different people. At the end of the day, only you can decide if you like it. You have to go there yourself. And obviously, for a place like the Congo in Africa, it's going to suck for everybody. Unless, like, you're into, like, looking at gorillas walking around the jungle. If you're not into that, it's probably not for you. So I'm gonna eat some food real quick, take a couple minute break, and I want you guys to pick the next city review. We're gonna do that tonight. I was thinking about doing Edinburgh tonight, but there's a few we can do. We can talk about Bali if you want, Kiev. Stockholm. Give a Stockholm review. York. That's another one I can do. So let me know what you guys want. And I'll be back in a sec. Let me put on the BRB. Good job. Good job. Now I said, Jill, thanks for the membership. But Jill, she called me a prick and an asshole on my Instagram, so I didn't like that. If Jill's here, just hit the gym, Jill. Lose some weight. That's all you got to do. Easy. Hit the gym. Lose some weight. Eat some better food. That'll help you out. There's still no sound. Test. All right, we got sound. Thank you. So did anyone pick a city? No one picked a city. I guess I'll choose then for our next city review. Maybe we should do Bali. Edinburgh. Gigi says Edinburgh, so I think we should listen to her. Okay. Just got back from Madrid. I went to Madrid too. I was there for a day. Thought it was okay. Like I wasn't amazed by it though. Okay. Let's get our template. Where'd that go? We got add in the other categories. Okay. Edinburgh was up here, so it's in the north. It was a nice city. So we're going to talk about Edinburgh. Let's get it started. Edinburgh is a great city, and it was one of my favorite cities I visited on my journey in 2025. And I'll tell you why in this city review. Edinburgh is located in Scotland, which is in the north of the UK. It is the capital of the Scottish people. And it's got a lot of history and a lot of cool buildings and rich streets, cobblestone streets. And it feels very European. It feels very Harry Potter-like. I believe Harry Potter was actually written in some cafe in Edinburgh, the beginnings of it. That's where J.K. Rowling wrote it. And it's a major tourist city. Tons of people go there. I really liked it. Now, I only stayed there for a couple days. So in this review, I can't give what it's like to live there for a month. But I can give you a short-term tourism review. Maybe in like the fall, I'll go back there and do a month. Give a real review. But for short-term tourism, very, very good. It's one of those places where you can't really mess up with it. So let's get into it. The ethnicity of the people are Scottish. Now, is there any real big difference between Scottish people and English people besides maybe the accent? In my opinion, not really. I couldn't really tell a big difference in terms of facial features of people between Scottish people and English people. It was all kind of the same to me. The city has a population around 500K, which is my favorite type of population size. It fits it in the tier 2 population. I mean, it's got some size to it. It's got some people, but it's not massive, and it's quite easy to figure it out and get around. You can figure it out in a few days. It has a good center area. What was the center area called? It was called the Royal Mile. There we go. The Royal Mile is basically the center stretch of the city, of all the tourism. And there's a decent amount of tourists. Definitely a tourist city. Definitely see those there. I would say racially, probably mostly white people with a mix of decent amount of Asian people too, especially going to the school. Decent amount of East Asians, and East Asians are also fans of Harry Potter, so that gets a lot of tourism. And then a few others, but it's mostly white people. I didn't interact with a lot of the people, but they seem nice. As nice for a tourist city would be. Areas of interest, again, the Royal Mile. It had the castle. It's not going. Areas of interest would be the Royal Mile, then the center area with the mall, then the university area. That's how I would put the three areas of the city together, and then there's some suburbs. So the price for accommodation is pretty expensive. The city's gotten hit hard with the Airbnb wave. There's a lot of Airbnbs, but it is pricey. I think we're looking at around, hold on. Let's do a little test. Real-time test. Edinburgh. Let's see how much. Oh, August is going to be bad. August would be bad. Let's do September. I want to go here from September 1st to October 1st. How bad would we be getting hit for a whole apartment? Entire home. Wow. Maybe this... Okay, so in August, there's like a big month-long celebration, which brings in 1 billion tourists, and it's crazy, I think. Let's be fair to that, and we'll do like October. Let's do it in October. We'll be a bit more fair to... Okay, it goes down quite a bit, actually. Wow. It's a lot. 6K, 5,600, 10,000. What? Okay. October's kind of, I mean, It's not the summer. Wow, this is bad. Airbnb is not an option here. For the regular person, no one is paying this amount. Fucking $7,000 for this? Why? What does this get us? What does $7,000 get us? This is what $7,000 gets us? A pull-out couch? Gives us coffee. Okay. Some bread. Okay, it's got another bed. It's got like a separate bedroom. All right, it's a ripoff. So we can say Airbnb in Edinburgh is extremely expensive. I think at least $4,000 for a place for a month. So for the average person, Airbnb is not an option. There are some cheap hostels. I stayed in a hostel for like $25 a night. And the hotels aren't that bad, but for the Airbnb, it is a no-go for Edinburgh. And then the price of the grocery store, it's a little high. It's not too bad. The restaurant's not too bad. Typical UK prices, a bit better than London. I don't know, like £12 for some food, so that's $15. Decent prices, not too bad. So overall, because of that expensive accommodation, Edinburgh is expensive. We're going to let ChatGPT fill some of this in. I was there in mid-March, and the weather was decent, you know. It's jacket weather, but it wasn't that cold. It wasn't like winter. It was doable. So maybe we got lucky in that March. I think you can get unlucky where it's still basically winter. But I think March and onwards is pretty safe to go. I would avoid January and February. Those are probably the worst months, although the cheapest. If you have a budget, that's probably when you want to go. Christmas there is probably nice because it's like already a nice city. It's got that nice vibe to it. And then the summer is probably insanely overpriced, but beautiful. Insanely touristy. Tourism. As if we've already mentioned, lots of tourism. Tons of people coming in the summer. There's going to be big groups of people, tour guides walking around with their little flag, talking in Spanish and, whatever language, French. Everyone's making the journey north to go to the city. Why aren't you? And there's a decent amount to do. We're gonna be lazy and let ChatGPT fill in what to do. Because it's all like a bunch of museums and stuff. Let ChatGPT fill in tourism. Didn't work. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hotel cheaper than Airbnb. Summertime prices are the highest. You're right. Hotels probably like $120 for a night. Tom Farley says it looks nice. Hello, GX72. Eyeballs. Was there for a week. Yeah, it was very spread out and every part is different. It's talking about Madrid. Let's talk about nightlife. I wanted to do nightlife here because I was there on a weekend, but I was in the hostel and I had walked around all day and I was tired. I'm 34. I walked around the nightlife, the supposed nightlife. I live streamed it. I didn't really see anything. Maybe I went too early. But I think Edinburgh has decent nightlife. It's fueled by a lot of the tourists, so there's probably a lot of people coming and going, having a drink. Remember, I was in the hostel, and the hostel was all girls, by the way. It was all girls, and they're working at the hostel. One was Australian, I talked to a little bit. So a lot of girls going through there. So girls like Harry Potter more. So you combine that with some good venues, that's some fun nightlife. We'll just put it that way. And that's why we need to go back there. We need to explore that. City layout. The city has a great layout. It almost has two sides to it. It has the old town side and has the new side, which doesn't feel super new, by the way. And it's separated by these bridges, and in between the bridges, there's this hill with this park, and it just has nice views. You see the castle and the bridge. It's a great city layout. Very impressed. Public transport. I used the bus. Bus seemed good. I used the bus to go to my couch surfing host in the suburbs. So it's got a bus. It's got the tram. It's got the train station right in the middle. So overall, can't really comment much on the public transportation, but it seems good. Seems like a standard, decent European public transportation system. I didn't eat any Scottish food. I failed. I know their main dish is that lamb stomach thing. What was that called? Haggis. It's called haggis. It's called haggis. I think it's that. And I didn't have any because I'm weird, and I just went to the grocery store and I cooked in the hostel. Again, maybe another reason to go back, to actually eat the haggis. So I think overall the food scene's decent. Again, everywhere is kind of international with the food now. There's Indian food. There's Thai food. In the UK, there's English food. You can get whatever you want. There's pizza. When I went there was a grand opening of a Popeyes chicken restaurant. So you got Popeyes, you got McDonald's, you got everything. You got the high-end restaurants if you're a baller. I know we got some ballers in the chat. I know we got some. Let's get rid of that. Not confused. ChatGPT dating. Can't say much about dating. I didn't try. I wasn't there long enough. So can't say much about it. Safety, felt safe. It was a nice European city. Not too many bad people. No problems there to report. It's not London. The London people stay south. I think the Scottish people know how to keep them out, I guess. They keep them out. They say, stay away. Or it'll be like Braveheart all over again. Digital nomad factor. So the weather and the price aren't good, so that does affect it. But now, would I do a Edinburgh summer if I could find a good accommodation price, maybe on Facebook, I think that would be actually pretty cool. Do like a month or two in the summer. So for that, just like the coolness factor of it, I don't rank this super low, even though the price isn't great, the weather isn't great. Because it's got the good ambience, I would maybe rank this like a 3 or a 3.5 out of 5 because the city's so good. It just helps it out so much. The city itself is like a 5 out of 5. The price is like a 2 out of 5. And the weather's like a 2 out of 5, honestly. But the city's so good. The vibe is good. People seem happy to live life. I didn't feel any pollution or anything. I think the water quality's good. You know, you're up north. There's a lot of nature. I don't think this is a problem. Typical first world city. No problems. English. Yeah, the people speak English. A bit hard to understand them. They got that thick Scottish accent, but overall it wasn't a problem. Visa. The UK requires that you do an ESTA. You have to do an ESTA, and it costs $10. Takes like 10 minutes to do. You send in your passport info, you scan your passport on this little app, and then you pay for it. Then you get the ESTA. I think I talked about that in my London one. I can just copy and paste. Is there anything we missed? I don't know. But yeah, that's Edinburgh. Let's do Bali. I'll give a cool review for Bali. This will be the last one of the night. The city review of Bali. Peter likes Hermione from Harry Potter. Oh yeah, Edinburgh slaps. Oh yeah, in Edinburgh, I had a couch surfing host for 3 days. They were very nice. It was a gay couple in their 40s. They took me in, and they actually had a private room, which was like nice. They were interesting. They had a nice home, and they had like 9 Jack Terrier dogs that the guy, like one guy did the couch surfing. He just liked bringing people in, and the other guy, he just did the dog shows with the Jack Terriers. He bred them, and he had people come in and look at him. He charged like $2,000 for the Jack Terrier. So a big part of their life was dealing with the dogs. They're on like a strict regiment, food, when they could be let out. So I got to play with some dogs. That was nice. Let's talk about Bali. Last one of the night. We're going to show you where Bali is. So it's in Indonesia. All these islands are in Indonesia. It's a big country, actually. It's just like spread apart. It's like one of the biggest countries in the world. Tons of people. Not much technical achievement, though, for such a big country. I think I read on Twitter someone getting on him about that. $281 million people. A lot of people. So not a small country at all. Basically almost as big as like the EU. Like how many people are in the EU? Indonesia. It's the 14th largest country. So it's pretty big. So let's go back to Bali. Bali's right here. Bali is this chicken thing. It looks like a chicken, doesn't it? You guys see? Like that's the head, its back, feathers, and then its feet. Looks like a chicken. And by the way, this is like a big island. Like this isn't like a small, like a 30-minute trip across this. This would take like 4 hours to drive from there to there. You know, it's big. It's a big island. 'Cause you got to remember, it's near the equator. Everything near the equator is big. You guys think Norway and Sweden and Finland are big? No, they're so from the equator they get stretched out. It's all stretched out. That's why the Russia is so big. It's all stretched out. Like the DRC is a huge country. It just doesn't look that big, but it is. So Bali's the chicken. I don't know what's going on in these parts, but everything's down here. This circle, I'd say, is like, that is what Bali is, down here. And then this is Bali. And then you got some islands over here. I think these are Gili. I think people go here. People go to Pendina Island. But let's talk about Bali. Okay. How should we start this off? I'm going to start this off. Bali isn't the place you imagine. It's not the place that travel blogger, influencer guy gave you the idea of. Bali is one of the most third world country places I've ever been. It's kind of a shithole. It is a shithole. Now it's got a couple nice hotels now that, you know, Instagram made it popular. Now a bajillion white people are going there from Asia and Europe and Americas. I did Bali for a month in December of 2022. And originally I was going to plan to do 6 months. I was going to get, a visa to stay longer. That was my plan, just chill in Bali for 6 months. Do the whole digital nomad in Bali. There's the food's good, the beach is awesome, you're getting sun, you're working out, you're getting fit. Do that whole thing. And it costs like $500 a month for all that. That was my plan. That was my initial plan. But initially I did the month. So, okay, I did the test month. So I flew there from Europe. I'd been in Europe. Flying there from Europe was a bitch. It's far. It's in the middle of nowhere, basically. Flying there, you probably have to connect somewhere in the Middle East or Istanbul. So yeah, big flight. You fly in. The airport's nice. It's a very nice airport. Airport is very first world. You go in, it's a little hectic. You got to pay for the visa on arrival. It was like $30 or something. You got to pay for this little thing. They stamp you in. Took forever to get our luggage. I remember that. I think I got scammed by the taxi driver leaving. I got scammed. Not totally scammed. I fought the guy a little bit. What should have been like an $8 ride, I think I paid like $20. Because I was tired. I was jet lagged. I did the typical. I walked out of the airport. There's all these dudes immediately get on you when you're on the airport. All the taxi guys, they're all scammers. I was tired. I saw this one dude. I was like, okay, let's go. Take me to my hotel. He wanted more than 20. I was like, dude, I know you're already ripping me off. Because the hotel wasn't very far. It was like a 10, 15-minute drive away. And he's like fighting me. I'm like, dude, just stop being greedy and take this. Fuck you. That's a rule everywhere, by the way. Every single airport in the world, the taxis at the airport will scam you. And Bali is a place that will especially do that because it's a poor country. They're on their last dime. The guy was trying to say, oh, the boss, I rent this car. The boss needs more money for it. I'm like, nah, you got to fight, man. Got to be strong. He did well with that trip. Let's see. I'll stop yelling. Be nice to my neighbors. Hopefully they don't hear me. So I got to the hotel. It was a decent place. The hotel was pretty close to the airport, but the place I booked for a month was in this place called... No, I didn't book it for a month. I booked it for a couple of days. It was in this area called Canggu. Canggu, if you look on the map, looks close. But in Bali, the roads are horrible. They're terrible. There's no highway infrastructure. And there's always traffic. So what should be like a 15-minute ride is more like a 45-minute to an hour ride. So the next day I went to Canggu and my brother was at a place nearby. So the accommodation in Bali, it's all kind of the same. It's all these like bungalow places where it's a room and usually it has AC and it's got a desk. And the bathrooms are really weird. Let's see. Bali bathroom. It's fucking weird. No, it's not like that. No, it does not look like that. It's lying. This is false propaganda. This is all dude, this is like what the $5,000 a month Airbnb bathrooms look like. See, they hide it so well. Yeah, it looks like that. No, it didn't look like that, but like, it wasn't like that, but like, it literally is not showing me it. Anyway, the bathrooms were weird. And there are always bugs coming in. Every apartment complex has bug problems. Creepy crawlies, ants. They're all geckos. I had a ton of geckos coming in. They all have a ton of problems. I should be writing this. Golf was invented in Scotland. Tom will never take local taxi from the airport after watching The Taken. All right, let's continue. So every place has creepy crawlies, bugs, lizards, geckos, ants coming in. You can't escape them. You're going to have some type of creepy crawly in your room, probably. The standard bungalow they're all kind of the same. They're all overpriced too now. They'll have like a pool, little pool. Have like a little community area. Like a little bar area or something. But the rooms are very basic. It's literally just like a bedroom. I'm trying to explain the atmosphere to you guys, like, because this sounds nice. Oh, a pool. I think the pool is sus. I read the pool water looks really blue, and they use like sus chemicals to make it blue. I remember reading that, so I never went in the pool because they use these weird. That's what I don't like about Bali. It's all this like all the food they're using pesticide. The air quality shit. Because when I went, I guess in December, they burn all the rice fields. They burn that shit. And there's a lot of smoke pollution. And they burn their garbage. Imagine, what is this? This is a scammer. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. I shouldn't have replied. He's going to talk even more now. He's going to talk even more now. That was a bad idea. We got to block him. Block, block, block. Scammer. Imagine your garbage can. Instead of taking the trash out and putting it to the road, or putting it down the chute in your apartment building, you just lit it on fire. You lit it on fire and just burned away. Plastic bags, food, like whatever. Rubbish. The burning rubbish. You just burn it away. That's what they do in Bali. And the horrifying part is apparently they have the money to get garbage infrastructure. I think they have the power, but apparently they like to burn stuff. That's what they like to do. That's what they prefer. So I saw this firsthand I saw a big pile of rubbish and this lady just burning everything. I walked past a guy, he had a garbage bin. He had a cow. He had this old, weird-looking cow. And the cow was standing right next to the garbage bin, and they're burning their plastic. I could smell it. It was disgusting. The cow was just breathing it in. The cow's chained to a fucking thing and just breathing in the smoke. What the fuck? Imagine drinking that milk. So I'm looking at these people. I'm like, dude, these people have no idea what's going on. The food. They're definitely using seed oil and that shit. Palm oil. I could taste it. They're using something weird. Some weird palm oil, I think. Because I could immediately taste it. Had a weird taste of the food. I barely ate the food. I just kind of tried to do my own thing. Because by then I knew about seed oils and stuff. And I was very cautious with my health at that point already. Bali's not the place you want to go to for that if you're that type of person. The best thing they have imported frozen steaks from Australia. That's probably the best thing. The Indonesian food is sus. There's something called Bali belly. Everyone's heard of this. It's called Bali belly. And what it is when you're a tourist and after, maybe a day or 3 or 4 days of being there, you're going to get sick. It varies how sick you get, but you're going to have some stomach problems and your stool's going to be weird. It's going to be bizarre. Something's going to happen to you. Now, I was eating I was very cautious. It happened to me a little bit. It didn't get me that bad. Some people, the Bali belly, it takes them out for a couple days. Might even ruin their trip. You're eating this fried rice. The fried rice is good. It costs $1. But you're going to get sick for 3 days maybe. And then you read the Google reviews and some people are this took me to I ate here, I go to the hospital afterwards. You're like, oh my God. So yeah, the food in Bali. Is it cheap? Yes. I think the best thing I got was this whole chicken thing. It was just a whole chicken that was skewered. It was probably a miserable, shitty chicken who had a terrible life. But at least I felt that was the best thing. It was some chicken with rice and some, I forget what the sauces they use. It's called Samboy or something. Samba. Sandball. There we go. Sandball. This is a big wall of text. We're just ranting. So the food is sus. The air quality is sus. No way in hell can you drink that tap water. Hell no. You drink that tap water, it is over for you. You only do bottled water. Nothing else. The beach is polluted. You can see some pics. I would not go in that beach water. The beach was like okay. I walked around the beach. You know, it's a beach. It's all beaches are kind of nice. But that whole pollution thing kind of threw me off. So my problem was I couldn't really enjoy Bali because I read too much into the pollution stuff while I was there. And just the vibe of it is very third world. Like you'll see like a chicken in a cage. Saw the cats in cages. I didn't like that. There's a lot of street dogs walking around. A lot of street dogs. Some street dogs at night. I was walking back to my bungalow and there's some street dogs blocking me. It was scary. It was like a life or death situation almost. Now, I think I got a bungalow. There was one cheap one I found because they're all the same. That one would have been like $400 a month. You know, you get your room. It's basic, but it is cheap. $400. The food's cheap. You can live on $600, $700 on the short term too. I'm sure if you do like long term there, it's just nothing. I think the locals pay nothing. The locals just sleep on a floor, you know, they don't care. They don't care if bugs crawl on them. They say, who cares? It's a bug. It's not going to do anything to you. It's a little bug. The locals probably spend like $50 a month or something. Uber is cheap. There are bikes that are everywhere. Every second you're walking around, a bike rider will stop by you and ask if you want to ride. Every minute they'll come. Think they use Grab there. I think Grab is the app to use if you need an app. Then you can negotiate a price with them. You hop on the back. Having a bike there is good. If you do live there, you really should get a bike. I rented a bike for a day. My last week there, I used a guy's bike for a day. It was real informal. Like he was just like, I just threw him some money. He's like, here you go, take the bike. So I'm riding the bike. You know, it's kind of fucking dangerous. There's like traffic and shit. But it was an adventure. So I'll show you guys the main areas. Here's where the airport is. Okay, so you got the chicken. This is the main area right here, if you're still watching. Airport, down here's Uluwatu. There's some nice beaches here. It's definitely a different environment here. This is where I drove the scooter around. I drove around Uluwatu. Over here in Nusa Dua is all these nice hotels. So if you want the very curated Bali experience, you go to Nusa Dua and you just get your nice hotel. You sit at the beach. You go to the nice restaurant. It's all very curated right here. Nusa Dua. There's also some nice hotels over here in Sanur, which I also went to. This area was pretty chill. Sanur. So this is this area. This area right here near the airport's kind of a shithole, Kuta. I think 10 years ago or 20 years ago, this used to be the area all the expat digital nomads hung out in. Kuta's kind of fucked up. I wasn't feeling it. I walked through it once and it was just yeah. Third world. All the white people are in Seminyak. Where's Seminyak? Where are the white people? Can't even find it. It's like right here. Okay. That's Seminyak. They're all in Seminyak, and they're all in this area called Canggu. Canggu, this is how you spell it. Canggu. But you can see how the roads are. The roads are fucked. There's no highway. Like look at that. It's just a mess. A total mess. And this is where I lived the first week. And we went to this place called Old Man's right here. We went to Old Man's. This is a popular place. Now, this place was actually cool because the club would end and then everyone would go on the beach. That was pretty cool. So everyone was like partying at night on the beach. That was pretty badass. That was like a small point for Bali, I'd say. So I think the nightlife's decent. There's a lot of drunk Australian girls, Australian people in general. Mostly Australian people they're like the main ones coming because look at where Australia is. It's close. Being Australian would suck. There's nothing close to it except for it's still like a 3-hour flight. It's far. But in relative terms, Bali's the closest. So a ton of them go there. All Australians go there to party. They destroyed it basically. So I went Canggu, then I went to Ubud. Where's Ubud? Where's Ubud? There it is. I'm gonna have to double say this on my voice to text, unfortunately. I actually liked Ubud more than Canggu. Canggu was just a shitload of digital nomad Europeans. There's more white people than local people in Canggu. Let's see what Canggu. See, these are all making it like look nice. They're not showing you the real on the street. This isn't what it was like. Ubud had the monkey forest. Yeah, look at that. Look at that shit. Just laying around in garbage. That's the real Bali. Dude, the Instagram did this place so good. They made it seem so good. I think I do hate on it a little too much. There are some good things. Are there good-looking people there? Yeah, there are. They're the influencer types. There's some douchebaggy, but there are like good-looking, chill people there. Ubud was pretty cool, though. I'm, like, talking too much. I gotta take a break. My mind. Are you guys finding this informational? Take a little break. I'm writing just a wall of text. I'm not even going by my guideline. I'm just writing a wall. Now, I'm actually excited for this review because fuck, I had a leg cramp. I'm excited for this review. I think this will do well on YouTube because it's not a happy review. It's controversial, and controversial is always good. Controversial is good. Saying what everyone else is saying is boring. It's like, okay, another... my Edinburgh review is kind of boring, I think. I'm just saying what everyone else is saying, but it's true. It's just a nice place. But for me to go off on Bali, that'll be fun, man. Have people hating on me. I'm ready for it, man. Battle it out in the comments. I'm gonna get some water. not true. My biggest problem with Bali was I felt betrayed. At this time, I was on a special diet. I was really looking at everything health. Plastic. I was buying meat. I was like scraping the side of the meat because the meat has it's enclosed in plastic. I didn't want to get the plastic particles inside me, so I'd scrape off the meat. I was doing weird shit like that. I was analyzing everything I was eating, ingredients. And my biggest problem with Bali, I felt betrayed because I thought it was going to be this healthy place where you get some sun and you're working out and you're eating, there's just fruit everywhere. There is fruit. There's actually, I shouldn't go on a tangent here, but there's one good thing about it. There's coconuts everywhere. There's young coconut. So they're not brown coconuts. They're these big green coconuts, and they're everywhere. It costs like $1 or something. And they'll just whack it, put it in a straw. You can just drink the young coconut. It's really good. That was one positive I liked. The young coconuts are everywhere. They're selling them on the street. But ultimately, I felt betrayed because it's just not a healthy place. I was reading on the Facebook groups, some guy was like, yeah, whenever I got back from Bali, I'd take a blood test and all the bad metals you shouldn't have. All my metal levels were up in my blood. Shit that causes cancer. And once I read that, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here? The food's bad, the air's bad. I'm getting metals in me. Can't drink the water, there's bugs. Get sick, there's snakes, there's poisonous snakes. There's scorpions, I think. You're in the tropics. There's weird shit everywhere. Now, I will say this. For the short-term tourist, that doesn't really matter. This is more for a long-term person. Because, the air's not bad or whatever. If you're there for a week or two, it's not a big deal. You'll recover. For tourism, I would still say Bali. Hold on. Let me see. For tourism, I would still say Bali. Why isn't it going? Come on. Test. Okay. For short-term tourism, I would still say Bali is quite good. There's still a lot to see. There's the monkey jungle. There's just the basic environment of it. Even though I thought it was bad, it's still interesting to see. And it's still such a big place on the digital nomad tourist destination list. You kind of have to go and see for yourself. It's been exploded by Instagram. It just has a nice name too. Bali is a nice name. It sounds nice. That's its biggest draw. Bali. So if you thought about going there for a week or two, I still would actually recommend it, even though I just gave it a really kind of bad review. It is a long flight, though, especially if you're from the U.S. The Europeans, it's not as bad. I think the best situation of going to Bali is you go to Thailand or Vietnam, one of those places. You go there for a week or two, and then you come to Bali and you do a week or two there. That's personally how I would do the trip. I wouldn't just fly to Bali. I'd see more of Southeast Asia. I know not everyone has that amount of time to do it. I would honestly go to like Thailand over Bali. Thailand just feels, it's a third world country too, but it just feels like the infrastructure's a little better. They kind of know more about what they're doing. The roads are decent. Bangkok is actually quite nice. Like Bangkok's got some first world stuff in it. It's got some nice malls. I flew to Bangkok afterwards, by the way. Like even like a weekend, I knew like, okay, I'm not doing any more time here. There's still a lot I can say. This is a long one. Wow. This is a long one. There's still a lot to say. I didn't do my thing. There it is. People and demographics. So let's see, Bali population. Wow. No way. Bali has 4.4 million people. Damn. That's a lot of people. Now that's for the whole island. I think you got to look up Densipur. It's like this weird... Densipur is like the actual city. The metro is 1.8 mil. So there's like a lot of people there, man. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Maybe I'll just do this off stream. I don't want to bore you guys. Kind of talked about all this dating. We can talk about dating a little bit. I tried to use Tinder a little bit. I didn't use it much though, man. I was like, it's hot there. I didn't feel sexy. I only try to do dating if I feel sexy. I wasn't feeling sexy there. It was hot. Hot and sweaty. Oh, I should add this. Bali for the long term is for the surfer, tattooed surfer bro. That's who it's for. The tattooed, free-loving surfer bro who just loves the beach and loves the sun and just loves riding the bike around. That whole phenotype of person is who Bali is for. I am not that type of person. I am a pale, vampire-esque man. I love the computer. I like being indoors. And it just wasn't my place. Quite honestly. Okay. So when it comes to the dating, you have the local women who I personally wouldn't go on a date with. And there's a lot of European and Australian women. I would say the most common demographic is Russian and Ukrainian women. Maybe Russian is the most. There are a ton of Russians in Bali. Russians love Bali. They're everywhere. You hear Russian everywhere. And I think a lot of the Russian girls are like doing the whole sugar baby thing. They're, they might be on OnlyFans. It's kind of like typical Russian thing. So that's no good. Again, I didn't really try with the dating. So this is a little scuffed of it. I don't think it's very good. I think your best bet to meet someone is probably the nightlife. You know, tons of people are coming and going too. People are coming and going. It's Bali. It's not a serious place. I don't think anyone's really meeting their soul partner there. It's hard. Okay. And the big problem is there's no infrastructure. So it's if someone lives 10 minutes away from you, it should be 10 minutes. It'll actually take like 30 minutes to get there because the traffic's so bad. So it's hard to meet people that way unless they live close because no one wants to sit in the taxi for 30 minutes or sit on the back of a bike. Bali's, it's not super safe. I wouldn't say it's dangerous though. I think the police are kind of sketchy. They're corrupt. You know, they'll take a bribe. There's a lot of people partying and drinking, so things do happen. Again, I'm a man, so nothing happened to me. I wouldn't worry about it too much. There's dogs running around outside. The street dogs are a little weird. Would definitely put that into a factor. There's always people riding around on their bikes. If you use a bike, use the helmet. Use a helmet. People die all the time because they don't have their helmet on if they're riding their little scooter. Don't be that person. All right, I'm tired. This has been a long review. Holy hell. I have a lot to say about Bali. And what's not fun is I got to make a script for the eventual video of me talking about this too. An eventual script. Lol, typical Peter avoidance. Hello, Lutra. Seems like it. Dating 404 error. I want a monkey jungle. I think people talk about the pros. Well, yeah. They talk about the pros because it's always easier to be positive about a place, you know? It's always easier to just be, oh, it was amazing and the food was good. There's already a lot of people doing that. I'd rather be different and write a negative review. The best part of Bali was the monkey jungle. It was in Ubud. And yeah, you pay. It's like $10. Yeah, there's monkeys running around. They call it the Sacred Monkey Forest Sanctuary. It's the best part of Bali. Because there's monkeys. There's monkeys just hanging out and it's cool and it's atmospheric. It is the best part of Bali. Look at that shit. The monkey jumped on her head. I said, get out of here. Definitely do the monkeys. I liked it. I said it made me think, okay, this place ain't too bad. This place ain't too bad. We'll put that in there. I also did like this lily pad Bali. I did like this swing thing, Bali swing. Oh, it was at the rice terrace. Okay, I went to some rice terrace. Yeah, I went to this, and I didn't even care. I didn't even walk around it. I didn't care. I said, I don't want to walk up and down a hill. It's hot out. And they had people on the swing. I'm like the worst traveler ever. Actually, my brother's the worst. He didn't even go to the monkey forest. He didn't do anything. Yeah, we'll put that in there. I'll fix this up all later. I'm getting a little tired. What the fuck is that? All right, guys. I think I'm going to go to bed. This is a lot of work doing these. Wow. Let me know. I think I'll do some more tomorrow. What I like about doing the live stream is like I'm really like focused on doing this. Cuz I have like a focusing problem. So when I do the live stream and I have the camera on me, I'm like really focused on like doing this stuff, which is good. So the Bali review is almost finished. I think tomorrow we'll do Kiev. Maybe I will talk about my experience in St. Petersburg. We'll do that one tomorrow. St. Petersburg's always an interesting one because many people don't go to that one. And we'll do Moscow. So we'll do Kiev, Moscow. We'll do them all. Good review. Thank you, Weston. I'll probably start a little earlier tomorrow. I can't believe the fucking gym was so crowded. I was like, I know I couldn't really show on the camera, but like, there were like 7 dudes in there, and it's just like, it was almost like it was 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. So I'll try again tomorrow. I want to motivate my viewers to work out with me. We're all going to get fit and beautiful and ascend into greatness. Okay, guys. I'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow. I think I'll start earlier. See you in the Discord. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Join the Discord. Ask me for a link. I'll get you the link. All right. End. Do I have my mic still on? Yeah, we do. Oh, I can talk to you guys like this.